Hello students of class 7. Welcome to the online tutorial classes for Vidya Bhavan High Secondary School. This video is for chemistry class 7 and the chapter that I will start today, it is the metals and non-metals. Okay, so in this chapter we are going to learn about metals and non-metals properties, the distinguish between the metals and non-metals with the general properties like the luster, conduction of the electricity, heat, malleability, ductility, sonority, melting point, boiling point, and many more. Then the classifications of the metals and non-metals, then the corrosion of the iron, then the uses of certain metals, and finally the metalloids. So first, when we are going to learn about the metals, non-metals, we have to first know about the elements, because the metals, non-metals all are the types of the elements, right? So the first thing, that is the element. So what is the definition of the element? The element can be defined as a pure substance made of one kind of atom which cannot be further subdivided by any physical or chemical means. So this is the pure substance where only one kind of atom which cannot be further subdivided. Okay, so some examples you can give like copper, you can give like CO, copper, you can give like gold, silver, iron, and many more. Okay, so first, after that, after knowing the introductions of the definition of the elements, you've already know that you have to subdivide it into the metals and non-metals, because these are all the divisions of the elements as well as metalloids and the inert gases. Okay, so let's watch that. Here, after the introduction of the elements, I am going to start about the classifications of the elements. Okay, so for convenience of study, all the elements are divided into two broad classes, mainly their metals and non-metals. And not only that, they are further classified into metalloids and inert gases. So, firstly, the division of the metals and non-metals. This division of elements is mainly based on the fact that there are certain properties which are found only in metals and certain other properties that are only found in non-metals. In the further videos, we will discuss about the differences between the metals and non-metals according to these properties. But now we have to learn what is metals, what is non-metals, and obviously their examples too. So as I told you, the elements are usually divided into metals and non-metals, and there are more classifications are metalloids and inert gases. So first, the metals, the examples that you can see, that gold, tin, etc. And here for the non-metals you can see the oxygen, sulfur, carbon and many more. Okay, but there are also some elements that show the properties of both metals and non-metals. They are known as metalloids. So metalloids are something here in the metalloids, both the properties of the metals and the non-metals can be seen. Obviously, not all the properties of the metals and non-metals can't be seen, but some properties of the metals and some properties of the non-metals can be seen. So some examples of it are boron, silicon, etc. Some common metalloids, as I told you, like also you can say arsenic and antimony, also very important metalloids. The noble gases or inert gases form the fourth category of the elements. So they are usually inactive gases that we can find out in our nature. So the metals we know the term from very long, and the knowledge of metals is very old to mankind. Copper was perhaps the first metal to be used for man making the utensils, weapons and many of the other objects like utensils. Most metals have a significant role in our daily life. They constitute of the minerals, wealth to a country. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the occurrence of metal. Occurrence of metal. That means metal occur in nature in both free state and in the combined state. So gold and platinum are exclusively found in free state because they are not that much of reactive, and the copper, silver, mercury is also found in free state. To some extent they are low in reactivity, but most metals occurred in the combined state in the nature, and because they are very reactive. And seawater is also a very good source of the metals such as sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and in the form of the winning salts. Our earth crust is also containing many of the different kind of the minerals and many different kind of the metals. Let's check that. Here we can see that some relative abundance of metals in Earth's crust. So the metals are widely spread in our Earth crust. They are usually present in our earth, in our soil, and they are abundantly present. So here we can see the metals and main metals, mainly which metals are present, as well as their percentage in the earth crust. Okay, so the first one is aluminium, that you can see it is present 8% in the earth crust. The second is iron, that is present 6% in the earth crust. Third is calcium, that is present 5% in the earth crust. The magnesium present 3% in the earth crust. So sodium, that you can see it is present 2.5% in the earth crust, that is usually less than aluminium, iron and calcium like other important metals. Next, the potassium, that is only 1.5% in the earth crust, and other metals are widely distributed like all over 2% in the earth crust. So by this you can see, by this table you can easily understand the aluminium is the most abundant metal. Okay, and other metals are obviously present, but aluminium is the most abundant metal. So I'm completing this video by this. In the next video we will discuss about the non-metals, and obviously one one activity by this we can easily determine that the metals are malleable. So we are checking in the next video. Till then, thank you.